You know, the fiercest corporate battle in the Philippines right now isn't actually happening in boardrooms. It's happening over the cost of the flour and tuna sitting in your neighborhood sari-sari store.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you make a purchase, it feels incredibly routine, right? But behind those everyday snacks, there's this massive corporate machinery just fighting for survival.
Absolutely. So welcome to today's deep dive. We are analyzing the 2025 financial reports of two Philippine consumer titans. That's Universal Robina Corporation, or URC, and Century Pacific Food, which goes by CNPF.
Right. And our mission today is to decode what we're calling round three future knockout blows. We really want to see exactly how these giants are building massive moats for the future.
And they are doing it in completely opposite ways, which is fascinating. We're looking at one company basically pouring concrete and another chasing global lifestyle habits. So let's unpack this and look at the concrete first.
Okay, yeah, let's start with URC.
Right, so fighting for shelf space means surviving the hidden costs of making the product. URC's strategy is to double down heavily on massive industrial infrastructure.
Yeah, like their reports show, they officially launched operations at their new Sariaya flour mill in January 2026.
Which is huge.
Hmm.
But my initial thought was, in a fast-moving digital-first world, locking up billions of pesos in a physical flour mill feels, well, a little dinosaurish. Don't you think?
It does. I mean, it totally does, until you look at the leverage they secured with the Board of Investments. What's fascinating here is they didn't just build a mill.
Right.
They negotiated a massive 6-year income tax holiday. Plus, they got up to 11 years of duty exemptions on imported capital equipment.
Wait, really? So they don't have to pay import taxes on those massive machines that actually grind the wheat?
Precisely. Because they avoid those heavy taxes up front, their baseline cost to produce a bag of flour is just permanently cheaper than a competitor who didn't get that deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in commodity markets like flour, where margins are razor thin anyway, that acts as an impenetrable financial moat.
Okay, so if global wheat prices fluctuate wildly, URC has this massive cushion. Because their production costs are artificially lowered by the tax breaks.
Exactly, they're playing pure defense.
Right, now here's where it gets really interesting when you compare that to Century Pacific Food. Because while URC is building a moat out of concrete and tax breaks to lower costs, CNPF is building their moat out of cultural habits to raise margins.
Yeah, they are definitely taking the trendy route. I mean, in 2025, CNPF went global by acquiring Loma Linda.
Which is that 130-year-old American plant-based brand.
Right, the one catering mostly to Seventh-day Adventists. And at the exact same time, they're aggressively expanding their domestic pet food segment with their brand Goodest.
See, on paper, jumping from local canned tuna to American vegan food and pet treats, it kind of looks like they're spreading their identity too thin.
Well, it might look scattered at first glance, but if
Yeah.
we connect this to the bigger picture, look at the mechanism here. Pet food and plant-based diets aren't just trendy.
Right.
They are high-growth lifestyle categories with much higher profit margins than basic canned goods.
Oh, I see. It's almost like CNPF is treating these niche brands as subscription services. Because Seventh-day Adventists have been buying Loma Linda for over a century.
Yeah.
That is not a fleeting trend.
Exactly. That's a locked-in cultural habit.
That-
And
that-
that habit is the true moat. I mean, vegans and pet owners are what economists call inelastic consumers.
Meaning they'll buy it no matter what.
Right. If inflation hits and the price of dog food goes up, you aren't going to let your dog starve. You will cut your own grocery budget before you cut theirs.
That is so true. Wait, so URC is playing defense by shielding themselves from commodity costs, while CNPF is playing offense by buying into demographics that are virtually inflation-proof.
That's the brilliance of it. They aren't just selling calories anymore. They are using their cash flow to acquire dedicated consumer habits.
And that cash flow already drove a 13% revenue growth in their branded segment in 2025. So it's clearly working.
Yeah, it really is.
Which brings us right back to that simple sari-sari store shelf where this all started. Whether you're an investor looking at a portfolio or just a regular grocery shopper, you are witnessing two distinct survival strategies playing out in real time.
You really are. It's impenetrable infrastructure versus agile trend-chasing global expansion. Both are incredibly valid moats,
Right.
but they protect against entirely different threats.
Definitely. So as you look at those products today, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. With URC relying so heavily on local production fortresses and CNPF relying on international brand acquisitions and lifestyle niches, which giant's moat will actually survive the next global supply chain shock?